Endowment, yes. And I love his ideas for education, for housing, for busing, all his concepts and his feelings with humanity.
We need to get back to the rule of law, and I think she believes in that. We need to begin to shore up the safety nets for the vulnerable amongst us and the middle class, because without a strong middle class, we have a divided society.
And you voted early in this election.
Yes, I wanted to make sure it was there.
Will you be supporting Mikey Sherrill tomorrow?
Yes, of course. Yeah. I would never, ever, ever vote for a Republican, ever, because of Donald Trump.
As a 50-year-old who just voted blue for the first time, I've thought a lot about, in my life, when was America great?
Millions of Americans woke up this morning and realized exactly what Democrats have been fighting for during this shutdown. My friend George woke up this morning and his wife looked at her ACA plan and saw that her premiums are going to go from $300 a month up to $1,100 a month in January.
You better know that there are people that are already tired of the propaganda that DT and his colleagues are spreading. So I wanted to bring people that voted for Donald Trump last year, or those that have been voting for him, and now they have a change of mind and they are giving a reason as to why they voted blue this side. The wave swept, and you better be ready to look at some of these heart-melting reactions from some of these first-time voters that are blue, literally dismissing and, exposing all the lies they believed. And right now, they're like, we have seen the light. That's why we decided to go blue. Why don't we watch and, come back later to talk about it? Let me know what you think about this. Are you a first-time blue voter or you are a red voter? Just let me know what you think. Do you think there are some lies that were sold? Do you think there are some dreams that were sold and instead people have been given otherwise? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let's like, share. I'll be back with more.
And one last thing. Am I the only person that noticed that in order for every election to end with a Democratic win, that means there's a lot of people, MAGA supporters, who are not MAGA supporters anymore? And I'm talking about people who refuse to even say anything in public. The people who refuse to acknowledge that the person that they voted for is a horrible choice. They went into last night's elections and they cast their vote for a Democrat. They casted their votes for Democrats. So regardless of if these people want to admit it out loud in front of us that they were wrong last night, shows that they know that they were wrong because they voted accordingly. I'm talking about the people who would literally go against logic to defend Donald Trump. I'm talking about the people who would literally swear that he was going to bail him out. Every time that you asked how, they just said he's gonna do it. I'm talking about the people who are literally making a spectacle of praying to this man. They all secretly casted their vote against his party. They all secretly casted their vote against their party. They fucking know. They fucking know.
I am concerned, very concerned. I never thought this country would see this day, but I'm very concerned. I'm a little frightened. I'm a little frightened. But I'm not the only one. 20 years in the Navy. I never thought to see the day. I fought for freedom. For somebody like Trump to come and take it away. I'm not a good speaker. I fought for freedom. You see it taken away like this. Hopefully it won't be, but there's a chance. I just can't get over it. I'm not the only one who spent days, months, minutes fighting for what we believe in, to keep this country free and clear. To have somebody like Trump to come in and do what he's doing, and the support he's getting, I just can't get over it.
That is Ed Geil, a retired Navy Master Chief, getting emotional. I mean, just tearing up, talking about where we are in history right now. I found him waiting in line with his wife, Nancy, on Saturday, along with thousands of others, some of whom had come in from hundreds of miles away. All to see former President Barack Obama close the deal for Democrat Abigail Spanberger's campaign to become Virginia's first female governor. Old and young queued up outside the Chartway Arena in Norfolk, Virginia for hours and hours before the main event. ODU students like Emily and Elise.
She brought me out here. I wanted to come and I was so excited, but I didn't have anyone to go with. And she woke me up today, making sure, she's like, Elise, we gotta get down here. We gotta get down here. I'm just gonna hold this up. Okay. Yeah, she's like, we gotta get down here. And I've also already voted. My dad and I were very adamant about voting. He wants to make sure that I vote. So, yep, I'm out here to show support. I got as much as my friends to vote as well. Yeah.
Okay. And you were saying, and you were saying that you've gotten all your friends to vote as
Yes,
well.
definitely. A lot of my friends and I are very opinionated, so I think it's important that we just have a say in what goes on in the world and to make sure everything goes well.
Young men broke in big numbers for Trump in 2024, and Trump even picked up some young men of color. But 26-year-old Andrew Proctor.
We need to get back to the rule of law, and I think she believes in that. We need to begin to shore up the safety nets for the vulnerable amongst us and the middle class, because without a strong middle class, we have a divided society.
And you voted early in this election.
Yes, I wanted to make sure it was there.
Will you be supporting Mikey Sherrill tomorrow?
Yes, of course. Yeah. I would never, ever, ever vote for Republican, ever. Because of Donald Trump.
I think the whole Trump thing is very dangerous. They're not, they're not respecting law. We're going to have what kind of a country can we have when there's no respect for law? It's very dangerous. So I'm supporting her.
Mandami.
And tell me why.
Well, I'm a lifelong liberal. And
lifelong liberal.
Yes, and I love his ideas. For education, for housing, for busing, all his concepts, and his feelings with humanity.
I think Cuomo, he'll lead us the right way. I like I said, I think because his experience, and also just a supporter of him for many years.
Mamdani, I think he's just. I'd like to see someone my own age, up there talking and fighting for us.
I think that his ideas and also his relationship to the New Yorkers, I feel like he's really for the people, and that's something you don't see in the government ever.
We must create jobs. We must put our people back to work. New Yorkers need to work, and that's what I think Governor Cuomo will do for us.
My mother was a Rockette.
You're kidding. Well, see, this is New York, ladies and gentlemen. Her mother was a Rockette. She's 91 years old. She's out here voting. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time and your effort.
Go put my teeth in.
Okay. Oh, you're going to put your teeth in. Okay, that's great. Yes.
Mama, how do you feel going to vote today? Are you crying? Yes, I need Mamdani. Yes. 105.
Bueno, comer.
¿Cómo?
Como, bueno, como.
What color are you going to vote for? Mamdani.
Como.
Mamdani. Mamdani. This one, yes? You put a heart by Mamdani's name? Put 3 hearts by Mamdani's name?
The name is Mamdani.
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 Como.
يلا استني.
Mamdani.
Yes. How do you guys feel voting?
Well, I felt great. I wish to Mamdani great luck to win the election.
Millions of Americans woke up this morning and realized exactly what Democrats have been fighting for during this shutdown. My friend George woke up this morning and his wife looked at her ACA plan and saw that her premiums are going to go from $300 a month up to $1,100 a month in January. Do not listen to the bullshit from Republicans that are trying to tell you that Democrats are just fighting to get health care coverage for illegal immigrants. This is about everyday Americans that will not be able to afford insurance come January. Millions of other low-income families woke up this morning and saw that their food, their SNAP cards, did not get funded for this month to be able to buy food for their families, for their kids. Millions of people are going to not have the food that they need because Republicans were willing to not just let something expire, but withhold available funds for that. Republicans figure that if they allow enough to happen right now, that Americans will blame the Democrats for it. But Americans are smart, and the majority of Americans realize that Democrats are fighting for us, for everyday people who don't want to see crap like this happening. And the Republicans don't give it. So, call your representatives, call your senators, tell them to stand firm. We don't want to just have a quick signature and back to business as usual under Republican rule right now. Democrats are fighting for something different to happen. And if you want to see this crap stop, you need to let your Democrat politicians know that they need to stand firm, and let your Republican politicians know they need to back down and come into the table and negotiate.
As a 50-year-old who just voted blue for the first time, I've thought a lot about, in my life, when was America great? And I would say that probably the best or the greatest time in America was between the years of about 2008 to 2016. And now, when those times were going in my life, like I said, I was a Republican. So I never attributed the greatness of our society at that time with like the growth of technology. We were seeing, streaming apps. We were seeing you were able to invest on apps. Like that system was changing. It was easier to get revenue streams at that time. Gas was cheap. You could get a house relatively cheap in those times. And I never, at that time, just thought it had anything to do with the presidency. But I would say that that's exactly what it was about. So when America truly was the best, at least in my life, and I'm 50 years old, was when Obama was in office. And like I said, I never attributed it to that until now, when I realize, and I've seen this since then, right? It has not been great since Trump has even tried to be president. And then the 4 years we had him wasn't great. 4 years after him wasn't great. And now we have another 4 years of things not being great. And so, yeah, those were the great years.
I worked Republican campaigns all throughout this cycle, and I'm a registered Republican. And what? I vote Democrat every time, though. Why the fuck would you be out here working for the ops? Because the ops got money to spend, and they're going to spend that money to get what they want. They're going to do it regardless. That entire Trump campaign, I was dressed as MAGA, talking to MAGA. Not only was I trying to get a full understanding of their perspective, but they're only going to listen to you if you are them. I was able to sway so many people as a Republican who voted Republican and got a story that I voted Republican. And they listened to me. That entire time I was out there like, yeah, I can't wait to vote for this guy, even though he's going to be coming for SNAP benefits and Medicaid. But I'm healthy. You feel me? I exercise. I eat good. I ain't got nothing to worry about. I don't even depend on Medicaid. I'm good. They be looking at me like, huh? I'm talking to an old person. I be like, damn. I can't wait to vote for him. Too bad he gonna cut Social Security, but I don't care. I'm a millennial. I heard that it ain't even gonna be no Social Security about time I get up there, so I'm gonna vote because it don't affect me. They be sitting there looking like I'm on Social Security. I only bring this up to people that I believe will be on Social Security. I can't wait to get rid of them migrants. All the migrants gonna be gone. However, they do be paying into the system. I was really out there doing the Lord's work, and here's that picture that I promised you. Taking pictures in front of these flags and really having them believe what the fuck. Like, all they had to do was take a look at my social media, but like, yeah, I was getting paid $86 an hour to be out there. And then I was getting $45 per email. And I was just cranking up. It was just so much money to be made. And they depend on people to go out there for your true, free, sheer will and do this because you truly want change. And I go out there, collect my money and do my dirt because I truly want change. And if anybody got a problem with anything I said, please, please tag me.
Can I say it in my own words?
Yes.
He's a piece of shit.
Starr County, Texas. It's a small border community right over there. You can see right there, that's Mexico. For 132 years, people here voted for whoever was the Democratic nominee for president. But that changed in 2024 when Donald Trump won this county. It was Trump's promises to make life more affordable and his hard line on immigration that helped him get over the line here. So 1 year later, we decided to ask people what they think about how he's done so far. On immigration, his supporters see a win.
I love everything, chasing illegal aliens back, because that was my job back in the old days.
Since Donald Trump has become president, we haven't seen the same type of situations. We don't see illegal crossings. They could be happening, they just don't happen here like we used to see them.
So if you were to compare what things were like under the Biden time versus what things are like now,
it's night and day.
His critics remain frustrated.
The way ICE is treating, Hispanic people, just because they look a certain way, they think you weren't born and raised in the U.S. and they're being attacked.
We've always had immigrant people. They come here to work and that's it. The violence is everywhere. And it's not only Mexicans, it's Americans, it's, every nationality has problems with that.
On the cost of living, no one is thrilled.
Poor people are suffering. Old people like me, I'm 80 years old, are suffering. Me, I can live on bread, potatoes, and beans. But the kids can't.
It's the prices. I mean, we can't even buy groceries like before. We buy the necessities, the milk, the eggs, and stuff like that. Like we hardly buy meat.
Everybody, I'm Governor Phil Murphy. We're from Jersey, baby.
Well, isn't that just crazy?
It was ground zero for book bans in many ways. Last night, though, Dems swept every single race. District attorney, sheriff, controller, recorder of deeds, all of it. But the biggest story to me is the Central Bucks School Board. Democrats now hold every single seat on the board. That's 9 out of 9. This is the same district that back in 2022 voted 6-3 to pass a policy that allowed any resident to ban a book. That board also banned pride flags in classrooms and targeted teachers who supported LGBTQIA+ students. And in 2023, for the first time in decades, the board flipped blue. In 2024, Democrats filled 2 midterm vacancies after Republican members quit in protest. And now, Dems have swept the last 4 open seats. Republicans are completely off their school board. Groups like Woke PA and Moms for Liberty poured time and money into these races, like money. And they pushed fear and misinformation, but now every decision about curriculum, inclusion, and book policy rests with people who actually believe in public education. This is what happens when we fight back and pay attention to school boards. We can win. Voting works.
After seeing the results of today's election, you can't convince me that he won fairly without rigging it. Not only was there a huge turnout for all these states, but Democrats did not even have a small or slight lead to Republicans. They had a substantial lead. First of all, I never understood why nobody did a proper investigation when he literally said it on TV. We have video footage of it that he said that he wouldn't have won if they didn't rig it for him. He wouldn't have won if it wasn't rigged. He literally told on himself. I don't know why we never conducted a proper investigation, but yet here we are 10 months later. And that's why he has to tell Texas, North Carolina, Missouri, all to gerrymander their district maps because he knows he's going to lose the midterm elections. And that's also why he all of a sudden felt compelled to send to California election monitors. It's because he didn't win. The motherfucker did not win. So the question is, now what? We got to keep up the pressure. We got to remember to show up like we did today for the midterm elections in 2026. And we need to get our brother, sister, cousin, mother, grandfather, whoever to freaking register to vote and be ready for next year. Let's keep the momentum.
Donald Trump, America remembered who she was yesterday. They did not lose because you was not on the ballot. You want to know why they lost? They lost because you're in the White House. And the country sitting here watching your second-term circus unfold in real fucking time. You're out here telling everybody that, oh, it's because I wasn't on the ballot. You know, we would have won. No, sir, you were on the ballot. Every lie that you told, every scandal, every attack on democracy was right there next to Republican names. So when folks are finally seeing and starting to connect those dots, that the government shutdown that you are trying to blame on the Democrats, they're seeing through it. They saw the workers getting laid off. They saw the veterans missing paychecks and families losing benefits, all while your administration is spending millions on border walls and political stunts. That shutdown wasn't about protecting America. It was about protecting your ego. And when checks stop coming, people stop believing. This election wasn't an accident. It was accountability. Voters in New Jersey and Virginia and New York, they looked at this Trump regime and they saw the chaos and the cruelty and the disrespect and said, you know what? Enough. They voted for progress. Zohran Mamdani in New York City, the youngest first Muslim mayor ever. Mike Sherrill in New Jersey, a Navy vet and governor. Abigail Spanberger in Virginia, the first woman governor. And Jay Jones, the first black attorney general in Virginia. That's not coincidence, Trump. That's a movement of Americans, especially young black and brown voters, who are paying attention now more than ever. So when Trump says Republicans lost because he wasn't on the ballot, remind him they lost because they finally opened their eyes, because we see what this regime really is, and we're out here voting like our future depends on it.
I say this with all my heart as a former Republican. Republicans, sometimes you have to lose to win. Did you believe him when he said he was just going to export the criminals, the worst of the worst? Did you believe him when he said he was going to bring down cost and prices? Did you believe him about everything? The worst thing that could happen is not to lose to the Democratic Party. The worst thing that could happen is to slowly give up all the principles that you stood for in support of a guy wearing the team jersey, but who inside is not who you believed the party was. I am encouraging you to break away, to become independent. Being an independent doesn't mean you got a foot in both camps, doesn't mean you don't know what you believe. It means you know enough about what you believe to walk away. Stand alone, only you wouldn't be standing alone. There are many of us who have left the party. You can still do that.
From the reactions that we have just looked at, it is very much obvious that there is still another wave of so many people that are going to change their minds, even in the midterms, even come the general election of another president, 2028. Because the more you keep upsetting your people, the more you keep telling them lies, the more you keep literally packing them with propagandas, the more people wake up. People are not dumb. People are not dummies. They see what the administration is doing. The lies of, oh, we are going to put the grocery prices down, gas is going to be down, tariffs are going to be bringing a lot of money. And they are seeing that many small businesses have been destroyed. The relationships between your neighboring trading partners are ruined. You know, literally here and there, there's just a way this man is trying to start a war with this one and that, spending the taxpayers' money to fulfill and satisfy himself, rips the White House to build his own bunker, use federal workers to work without pay, veterans that are suffering and are struggling, American, normal people that are not getting their benefits anymore, even if they are still paying taxes. He is traveling here and there, buying private jets for everybody else, and allowing the enemies of America to actually take advantage of America. He's not saying anything about Putin or anybody else, and people thought he's gonna be a man enough to confront this man. He said this war is gonna be ended in 48 hours. It did not. Meanwhile, he's looking at Nigeria, talking about how there's so many Christians that are being, Meanwhile, in Sudan, there is 4,000 people that were wiped out within 48 hours. Are those not lives too? Or it's because he is in contract with the Arabs that he doesn't want to stop them from where they are feeding from. He would rather go to a territory that does not have any Arab intervention. Because these ones, the ones that are in Nigeria, terrorists, but he's not talking about these other terrorists that are funding this. Meanwhile, they are also confessing loudly that the petroleum in America, the reserves are depleted and they are looking for more. Guess where he's gonna get that at? In Nigeria. So Americans are like, all these lies that we bought into. Meanwhile, they are even saying, we love Trump. We don't have a problem with him, but we're gonna vote blue. This is our way of revenging on you. We are not looking at only young people. No. We are looking at middle-aged people, white people. We are looking at old people. Old people, majority of them are the ones that are actually supporting Trump. We are looking at all groups of people that are waking up and they're like, you know what? Absolutely not. We have to change our mind. We have to start thinking for ourselves, which is amazing, amazing, amazing. Veterans are in here representing all kinds of people. These are the few videos that I managed to come up with. But I thought it is very crucial that people see how, the Republican camp is being shaken. People are not after the popularity politics anymore. They are after service delivery. And I think that's what Trump is not doing. He forgot about delivery and he concentrated on talking and threatening his political rivals. And people see that. People see that and they know that's not what they are after. That's not what they voted for. They voted for services which you are not giving them. All the cuts that you promised everybody, those are cuts that are actually going to benefit people that make more. And in America, not everybody makes more. And so they're like, oh, this is how we've been lied to. They know their medical subsidies, medical care or health care is going to be taken away and their premiums are going to rise and go so high and they're not going to be able to pay for that because they can't make that. Anyway, they see the Republicans blaming everybody else for the government shutdown except themselves. They see that this man, instead of releasing, the Epstein files and giving justice to the victims, he's rather trying to cover it up, including the people that, follow behind him. They don't want to swear in those Congress people that are supposed to be voting on this so these files get released. So they are wondering, what is he trying to protect? And that's why they are giving up on him. Now, as much as there's indeed those that are still stuck with him, we are going to also notice a breakaway from so many of those that are deeply, deeply MAGA people because they don't like what they are seeing. They hate the division that he's spreading. They hate how he's attacking everybody. They hate that he's forgetting what he was voted for, to be a uniting factor and serve the American people. But instead, he is satisfying his own ego. They know that indeed would not vote for a king, But the way he is behaving looks like he wants to be the supreme leader, and this is not what we voted for. Much as there are those values and reasons as to why they voted for him, they are also seeing that they are going to be hurt, and this is not what they wanted. They wanted someone that is going to, wash pain and tears off their eyes, but instead they are crying the more. Their farms are going. So that is why you're seeing old, young, middle-aged, first-time voters. They're like, we are going blue. And don't be shocked, because you are realizing as more of these people wake up to start voting blue, that is why he wants to try to get rid of, the rights of the people to vote. That's why in states where there are even other people of color representatives, he wants to get rid of those areas so that people don't vote. And people are realizing this is not what we voted for. We voted for you to serve us and do everything, stop all these wars, but you are starting new ones. And you're using our our tax money to do all these things. When are you going to work for us? Electricity is going high. People that are on disability are struggling. Our people are losing, their subsidies. The safety nets are going. What are you doing? That's why the panic is going to be loud, and it's not going to be easy. But people are willing and open to open their eyes and choose what they think is right. What do y'all think about this? I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because from me for today, that's it. I do love all of you, and I think I'll see you guys in another amazing episode. May God watch over you and protect and provide, and give you all your heart's desire. But these are the reactions of those that were voting for the very first time, that saw the truth, that saw the light. They're like, no more red. We don't have a problem with the man, but I think it's time for us to vote for policies and people that are going to serve us, instead of us voting likability or popularity politics that ends this time. What do you think? What are your suspicions for the midterm, and what are your suspicions for the next general election for the president? Let me know. I'll see you guys later. My name is Gracie. Love you all. Bye.